Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm on the winning team. I'm in a different league. I'm like a symphony. Buy you some Tiffany's. Ooh, look at me. Look at me.
Ooh, that was a game.
Look at me.
Was a game.
Look at me. I'm on the winning team. I'm in a different league.
First of all, man, just want to give all praise to the Most High. Listen, we have an exciting show today lined up for you today, man. I mean, just got to ask you guys, listen, how was your Turkey Day? How was your holidays, man? Because we got a couple holidays coming up. It's about to be a whole new year. We got a lot of things coming up. We got the college football playoff coming up, and that's where we going to start today's show. And before we start today's show, it's funny because last year we were talking about, obviously, my Seminoles being left out of the playoffs, and now we're talking about another team from Florida being left out. But first, I want to bring into the show a guy that I have a lot of respect for, a guy that has carried the Seminoles, helped carry the Seminoles to a national title back in 2013, and a guy that has joined the show and will continue to answer some of the questions that we have for him today. Now, coming to the show is the 2013 college champion and the running back for the Florida State Seminoles, Karlos Williams.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate y'all for taking the time to, have me on the show. I appreciate it, man. I'm ready to answer some questions, man. The Seminoles had a rough year, so it's definitely time to get some of that steam off the chest.
For sure. And just to start off, man, we're gonna start off talking about this whole playoff scenario. Last year, we weren't able to have you on the show, but we have you on this year. And last year we were left out of the playoffs because, according to what the media was saying, the national media was saying, because of an injury to Jordan Travis. Even though the team was 13-0, they took us out of the playoffs. And now this year, the irony is Miami's got left out of the playoffs. First, I want you to talk about what you have seen from the Seminoles this year, and we'll get into, you talking about the 13-0 season and what you thought about that as well.
It was rough watching this football season. Watch every game. Faithful. I'm a loyal Florida State fan, but it's hard to watch when you know how explosive some of the guys are. You're just not seeing it. Some of the plays that the guys could make, you're not seeing it. When you're used to seeing the offense stretch the ball down the field and, the running backs carry the ball a certain way or be explosive a certain way, it's just not there. Defense caught on towards the middle or the end of the season, which you love to see, but you're also going to lose some of those veteran leaders on defense. So, trying to replace those guys and keeping the guys that are here within the system and growing. But then you have a DC that is fired. Receiver coach is gone. So, you have some other pieces, offensive coordinator, O-line coach is gone. So, you have new hires that's coming in. Coach Gus Malzahn is a great offensive mind. I've got a chance to play against him, like we talked about national championship game. His defense was awesome. His offensive line was even better. Having the number one rushing attack in the SEC 2 years in a row is not an easy feat, especially when Nick Saban's coach on the other side of the ball and also in the same state at Alabama. So, it's just it was different watching them, but, very proud. They played with a lot of pride. I didn't see anybody laying down. I didn't see anybody quitting. Effort is always something you don't want to have to coach. Sometimes effort wasn't the greatest, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not a coach. I don't know what their expectation is, and what they allow and what they don't allow. I just know that I always compare it to the guys I played around. I played around some monsters, some really, really high caliber defensive players. And you know what? Sometimes I have to tell myself it's not fair because time is different. These guys, when I was playing, I always tell people to ask me about NIL and this. I'm like, we didn't have NIL. NIL, talking to a booster nowadays is normal. Back in our day, you talk to a booster, you suspended for a year. Like you can't get a McDouble from a booster and stuff like that. So it's different times now. So, we were playing for the hopes of making 100,000 in the league, playing for hopes of hearing her name called between rounds 1 through 7, so now it's the expectation of getting paid to play in college football. I think that does have a little bit of effect on the game. the love for it, the drive to get paid in the NFL, to hear the name called, to make it, I think is different. As far as the playoff, it sucked. Watching Jordan get hurt against a team that we probably should have slaughtered, that which we end up doing. It sucked to watch, people vote us out and count us out. In that point in time, we had a lot of guys that, there wasn't Seminoles from the beginning to the end. We didn't recruit these guys at high school. So them dying on the cross for us, I didn't expect it. I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't expect them to go out there and just lay themselves on the line for garden and gold. I love that they, represent. I love that they came down here and they played and put some good numbers up for us. But as far as coming in as an entire class, being recruited, sucking together, then being great later, what I'm saying? Not many guys did that. So it's hard to say, but it was hard to see, us, get beat to sleep by Georgia. But moving on to this year, Miami, it sucks to suck. You lost at the wrong time. I kid you not. I work at a K through 8, kindergarten through 8 school, and our nurse is a huge Miami fan, and she had every game written on her little board in her room in her nurse's office. And every week I would tell her, Georgia Tech and Syracuse, if we don't beat you. Georgia Tech and Syracuse, if we don't beat you. Historically, Miami loses to Georgia Tech. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Historically, Georgia Tech has been a thorn in y'all's side. They've been on y'all coastal. I'm sorry. But Syracuse is building a good program. That head coach knows what he's doing. Look at the guys he's recruiting, not in the 25 class, but in the 26 class. Look at the guys on this recruiting list. Look at the guys he's offered. Look at the guys that's committing. He's building something there. Syracuse has never been a slouch. It's in Syracuse. Nobody wants to go to that part of New York to play football, let's be honest. Nobody really wants to play for the Giants and Jets. They're in Jersey, let's be honest. I mean, but you get what I'm saying? So it sucks to suck. They lost at the wrong time. I think they had one of the best offenses in the country. They had the best quarterback in the country. Their offense was explosive. Defense was very, 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 very good, very talented. A lot of people asked me about them and why they lost. I said, I think they had the most motivation to win. I think they had the talent and the roster to win. I don't think that they had the staff to get those guys to play at a peak, if that makes sense. I think the head coach is a great coach. I think they're great recruiters, but I don't know anybody on that staff that has the body of work of a lot of other staffs. And that's not cutting those guys, because I would love a lot of my guys to be recruited and go to Miami and play for a program. But that this year, you had to see it. Against Georgia Tech, they should have killed Georgia Tech. It shouldn't have been a football game. Syracuse shouldn't have been a football game. We know this. I played on rosters like that. In 2014, we left a lot of points on the board playing football teams. We should have killed those teams. We ended up losing to an Oregon team that we should have obliterated. They had no business putting up that many points, and we had no business not running the ball. But that's, you know what I'm saying? So they just lost at the wrong time. And then you leave it into other people's hands. You leave it up to voters, people that really never sat down and played the game and put their blood, sweat, and tears on the line with 105 other guys from August until January. That is different. Back then, you used to put numbers into the computer, let the computer pop out, BCS, you got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just different now, and you have to be able to accept it. I'm learning to accept it. It sucks. Even coming down to recruiting, man. The transfer portal. I have high school guys that help get recruited, and coaches are looking for ready now players. Coaches are looking for guys that have been in a program 2 or 3 years and a year and a half that have just some game experience or just special team experience now. So it's different. Times in football is different. Being able to roll with the punches is not as easy as said as done. So, I wish my Seminoles a great off season. I know they'll put in the work. They're always working. I pay attention to a lot of guys. They're always putting in work. They're always focused on the main thing. So I know they'll do that. I'm just hoping that they get to gel before spring, and we have a great spring, come out healthy, have a good summer, and hit fall camp, hit the ground running against Bama.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, when I think about the things that you were saying, man, especially when you're talking about the NILs and the effort. I mean, I just can't help but think about, the 2014 season, like you were saying, when you were out there. And I don't remember, questioning you guys' effort. You know what I mean? I don't remember, going out there and be like, it's an effort issue out there. But just touching on some of those things, I know I can't help but to think about Jameis and you guys, and I know you've seen quarterbacking and on the highest level, and I just wanted to kind of talk about what you said about Miami had the best quarterback. Now, do you think that Cam Ward was better than the guys like Shedeur Sanders, guys like what's the guy, Gabriel in Oregon?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think about the guys that he was throwing the ball to.
Okay.
Evan Stewart single-handedly was one of the best highly touted receivers in the country when he came out of high school, went to Texas A&M for whatever reason, left, we all know, and then went to Oregon and then didn't put up astounding numbers. But is he going to get doubled? Are we going to make sure Evan Stewart not catching 10 to 12 balls a game? Yes, we are. And so, I mean, you got to think about who everybody else played. We got a Heisman Trophy winner on your roster. Jimmy Horn as well. Think about the other guys. Wheeler that he had to throw the ball to. I mean, he had a lot more weapons than we think about Cam Ward. Cam Ward made that offense go.
Yeah.
And when he struggled, the offense struggled. That made him the best. That proved that he's human, that he can too make mistakes, that he can't too be perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It showed that, like, it's okay. I think he proved that he was the best quarterback, hands down. Shedeur played with, quote unquote, the best player in the country. I should be able to throw the ball up to him. He'd make a play because he's the best athlete in the country.
Yeah, that man's serious. I look at him play, man. I'm saying, I watch a lot of football. I haven't seen a lot of guys being able to do what he's able to do on the PWI level. I've seen it in high school, but PWI level, that's a little different. But what's your thoughts about that?
You mean Travis?
Yeah, Travis Hunter, yeah.
I don't think Travis was the best receiver in the country.
Okay.
I don't think he was the best defensive back in the country. I think Travis was the best player doing two things at one time in the country.
Okay.
I think Genty put up better numbers than Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
he deserves that Heisman.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram, he deserves Barry. You know how long it's been since we've seen numbers like that?
Yeah, we haven't seen them. I mean, I wasn't.
You know what I'm saying? Like like there's never gonna be, and like people. Oh, he went to Boise State, man. No, bro. Those are miles he put on them legs.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about carries. Yeah, that's carries. Like that's miles on his legs. And people are gonna talk about in the draft when they talk about his draft stock and all that. Well, he got a lot of wear and tear. How long is he gonna last? Let him get one bump and bruise, or let him get a MCL or a meniscus. They gonna tear him down. It's gonna be short lived for him. Yeah, he was the best. Christian McCaffrey should have won the Heisman. The year he was up for it. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He was the absolute best. That's the reason why Reggie won it when he won it, because he was the best. He was the best football player in the country. He was the most entertaining. He was the most electrifying. He was the absolute best in the country that year, and that's why they won it. That's what Genty should have won it for. You already won the Thorpe. You won all the other ones. I think it was icing on the cake. In my opinion, I'm not going to hate because the man is obviously extremely, extremely talented. He's one of the best to do it. That's, I mean, you up there with Charles Woodson. You up there with Deion himself.
Yeah.
You did it. But Heisman worthy, other guys that did it before you at that level, they didn't win it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They won the appropriate awards that fit that mold.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people
the Heisman Trophy has always went to the most exciting football player in college football.
Right. I think a lot of people didn't get a chance to see Genty though, like to your point. I mean, you just ask people, did they see a full game of him play? I'm pretty sure they're gonna say no. So they saw a lot of highlights. And, people kind of hate on Boise State, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's not Florida State. It's not Alabama. It's not Georgia or something like that. So, people kind of hate on Boise State when doing amazing things. But, again, we've never seen, somebody run for that many yards. I mean.
We never have.
Yeah, I never seen
We never have.
Yeah.
And that's honestly, and people always, think about his offensive line. That's a dead testament to his offensive line. And also, to the person that is giving him the ball. That man is not an idiot. His offensive coordinator is like, 6 foot, 225,
Mm-hmm.
4'4". Yeah, I'm getting the ball every play. Y'all boys, we finna run double gap scheme, finna run downhill. Duh. I mean,
Yeah.
and you got a person that wants to do it, a
Yeah.
kid that's hungry for it. Like, it's not rocket science when it's 1+1.
Yeah.
Finna run the ball downhill. And they did that faithfully. And now when you have a team that believe in what they're doing, it makes everything a lot easier. And now these guys are in the playoff and they about to run through people. You giving them the chance. Now he's
Mm-hmm.
hungry.
Yeah.
He thought he got cut at the knees. He didn't win it. Now he's hungry to prove something.
No, that's interesting. I think so. Let's talk about that. Where do you think they're going to end up in this playoff scenario? I mean, obviously they're one of the top teams. This is this playoff bracket. You know, they're going to be going up against some tough guys. You know, but you know, with Genty there, you know, they should have a chance. I mean, if you're able to run the ball, play some defense. I mean, last time I checked, you know, you should have a chance to win some games. So, what's your thoughts about them?
Boise, it isn't on Genty, and people gonna think, oh man, why you say that? Because it's on the offensive line. Like people always like, man, Karlos, man, your year was great. Man, my offensive line was gas my rookie year.
All pros.
Cordy Glenn,
All of
Richie Incognito, Eric Wood. We had what was Jordan's last name? He played the right tackle. And then you had John. We was lit. John Miller was lit. Second round pick out of Louisville. Third round pick out of Louisville. We was lit. Like offensive line boys with the Pro Bowl. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Cordy got a new contract like a year and a half later in Cincinnati. It was like one of the highest paid tackles like 2 years after that. Like Greg Roman ran the ball down people's throat. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think they're going to go as far as the offensive line takes them.
Okay.
Where the OC is going to set that offensive line. He's going to set the pace. And we want to run it. We're going to set the tone. And I think he has something to prove. Two, felt like he should have won it. He said it. He felt like he got cut at the knees. And I think he's going to prove that's why they're in the playoffs. I put this team on my back. I've carried them this far. I've broken records on my legs. And now I'm about to break the bank. If they go and even get to the semis, he has done his job.
Yeah.
Like he has reframed the running back, because we haven't had a back like that in so long. Imagine if you go to the combine and show everybody he can catch.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? The running back value has been dead for so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, it's gonna go as far as the offensive line goes. Whatever they decide to do up front and how they decide to set the pace and set the tone of the game, that's what's gonna happen. They go up there with an attitude and they decide to run downhill and hit them A gaps, they're gonna have success. If they don't and they try to do something different and try to be fancy, they won't be successful. Their identity is in his legs and the offensive line.
Yeah. Yeah. They might try to get in the playoffs and do something totally different, man. You know,
No.
well, you know how defenses be kind of like, you know, I mean, especially a guy like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
But okay, you played ball. Let's get real. You played ball. Stop me.
Yeah.
It's like Little League football at this point. And and people think it's so crazy when I say stuff like that, but it really is like Little League football. I'm gonna line up in power I. And you're gonna stack 8 people in this box. But are your 8 people as hard as my 8 people? Are your 8 people gonna do what my 8 people gonna do? Are they gonna do alignment, assignment, technique? Are they gonna hit me right down the face? Are they gonna button, press, and rip and get off the tackle? No, they're not, because I'm gonna build them like that. And they've been doing it all season. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they get outside that frame, it's going to be difficult for them because their identity is what they've done all year. That's why he's rushed for over 2,000, because that's our identity. You start throwing that ball around the field, and they won't be successful.
I mean, just you saying, man, you rushed for over 2,000. I'm like, I mean, you just said it like it was just nothing. Like he just rushed for over 2,000, but like,
yeah,
golly.
But see, the reason why I say it like that is because go look at that was the mission.
Yeah.
Like you got to I always faithfully believed in, for a guy to get Pro Bowl or all pro numbers, that's the mission. Like, remember Derrick Henry first got to Tennessee? We were like, why they go draft him? Man, Eddie George was 6'3", 230. He wasn't small. That's the identity of Tennessee football. We run the ball down your throat. And that's why they went and got him like that. That's why he put up them huge, crazy numbers in Tennessee, because that was their identity. That's what we were going to do. That's how we play football.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's what they've done. Like, if they do anything different, they're going to cut themselves at the knees.
And it looks like they're going to be playing the winner of SMU and Penn State. What do you think about that?
Okay, give me that. Either one.
Yeah.
I'll take Boise. Either one. Now,
Okay.
SMU is going to give them something different. They're going to be a lot faster. A lot faster. I truly believe Penn State will be a lot more disciplined and sound because of the conference they play in, the style of offenses they play in. They have to be a lot more disciplined, a lot more sound football. The running style of Big Ten football is a little bit different than the ACC, especially with SMU coming in. They like to spread the ball around, and they're also very, 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 very fast.
Yeah.
Very, very fast-paced offense. So, but I don't think either one of them can line up and tackle him 40 times a game.
Yeah, no.
Definitely not SMU. They're not going to tackle him 40 times a game.
No, they ain't seen nobody like that.
No, they're not. Like, maybe Penn State because they play in the Big Ten, maybe. But they ain't seen nobody that big and that fast.
Nah. Yeah, he going to get off on both of them.
Yeah, he going to bounce off one or two, and them boys going to come back to huddle like, hey, coach, like, them boy got a tight end out there, running back. Like, he's huge.
Most definitely. And what do you think about Georgia? I mean, they'll be playing the winner of Notre Dame and Indiana. Indiana's had a great year. I never seen them this high in my life.
I think Georgia's out. I think Georgia's going to be out fast.
Okay.
I think they're still young, in my opinion, and I don't think they're young. I think they're just mentally young. I think they've been caught up in success. Like, young guys been caught up in success. I think that would happen to Bama late last year before the coaching change. But I think that's what's happening to them. Like, the young boys having too much success, and they're trying to figure out how to build their own success.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A couple guys have been in there, and they've grown, and they've learned how to win. They've been around it. And a lot of guys just jump on the train. I came in and got a ring, cuz I jumped in. Like, I get it. It happens all the time. Every year a rookie win a Super Bowl, yes or no?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Every year a freshman's going to win a national championship. But what the program is into, no real leadership at quarterback. We all knew that Buddy wasn't the guy. Stetson Bennett, we still ain't seen him play on Sunday.
Not yet.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just, like, the last quarterback they had that good was Matthew Stafford, and he's still playing.
Right.
That's the last one I've really seen come out of Georgia and been like that. Like, Cheston went to O State. They claim him. But, I mean, that's just is here or there. I think this is going to be out. I think Indiana going to beat them. I think their attitude as well. And then Notre Dame has a chance, but they don't play nobody all year for real.
Right.
Like, they play who they want to play, and I get playing the military academies, and they have some good records, and their offense is different and difficult to stop. But y'all ain't playing. Like, go in NCAA 25. Go make one of them schedules.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go prove that you deserve to be a top 3, a top 4.
Yeah.
Because think about this: if you're Notre Dame, you're playing for a top 5, top 6, 5 through 12 every year. You can't even get a top 4 spot. You can't even play in the conference championship. So what is you really doing? Like, to me, it doesn't make any sense. It's stupid.
They
It don't make
probably
any sense.
never have a hard schedule now that you got a 12-team playoff. There's no need to have no hard schedule now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all don't even need to get into a conference. You're just playing for number 12.
Right. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And that's every at-large team has to be a conference champion. Those teams still have to be MAC conference champion. If you're ranked high enough, you can get in, right?
Right.
And if you're ranked high enough conference champion, then you get a first round bye. But think about this: like, Notre Dame can take your spot if you say you the runner up in that conference, but you're still a ranked team. You can get a top 12 spot. But Notre Dame slide in. Right. They don't got to lose a conference championship. That's stupid to me.
Yeah. It's independent. And then
give me easy out.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Ohio State will be playing the winner of Oregon will be playing the winner of Ohio State and Tennessee. How you see that playing out?
That's going to be a backyard brawl, boy. That ball going to be thrown around the field so much.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I mean, I like the young kid out of Tennessee. I like Tennessee. I like what Heupel's doing. He's a good dude. He's honest, man. He's just trying to build a good program and get Tennessee back where they used to be. And I remember watching that, beating up on Florida State a couple times in the Fiesta Bowl. But it's just Ohio State's been known for being a spoiler. I don't know. They can't beat Michigan right now, but they'll beat anybody else. If they get that young boy under some pressure and get him unsettled, I think they can do some things. But I don't see them beating Oregon though.
Mm.
I just see Dylan Gabriel and Oregon being a more complete team. After getting to number one and sitting at number one and playing some good football, I think they'll come out on top. I don't like Will Howard getting his team to a national championship.
Mm.
I don't see him being the guy to do that.
Mm. So you got Oregon winning it all this year?
Ooh.
I know you don't have
Man,
Georgia. You don't have Georgia winning it. So.
no, definitely not Georgia, man.
Right.
I'll be my sleeper.
Mm.
If he runs for another 500,
Mm.
Boise State win that championship.
Boise State. Oh man, that's a hot take.
If he runs for another 5.
Well, yeah, if he run crazy, I mean.
Listen,
yeah.
if he rush for 100 a game, they'll win that championship.
But if they let's deep into that. Like if they playing against an Oregon team, 'cause Oregon got a good defense.
100 a game.
Golly.
Think about what he averaging.
Yeah, right.
2 tugs on 100.
Right.
Say he go 150, 3 touchdowns, it's 21 points. And on top of that, they're gonna throw the ball off the play action. Now you got to stop them. You get what I'm saying? Like you got to play. We watch enough football this season to understand how these teams should play. Like they say how they will play, how they should play based on how they got there. And usually teams don't go do nothing crazy. If he rushed for over 120 a game, they will win a national championship because he's going to wear people down.
Right. So defensively, like what do they look like? Because I haven't been watching them. So what do they look like defensively?
I mean, if you go look at the box score. Don't go look at stats. Go look at the box scores.
Okay.
They give up points.
Okay.
But you got to understand the games are short because they're running the ball.
Right.
They're running the air out the ball. The game is meant to control the clock. If we get up by running them and pounding them and beating them down, if we get up by 2 touchdowns, we got the clock. We get up by 3, it's game over. But if we can't get a stop and they in a shootout with us, we got to make sure we be real meticulous, control the line of scrimmage, which they have been doing all game. And if he hit one in open field, he faster than everybody else. He ain't gonna tackle him you get what I'm saying? Like they have built a really, really great identity.
Yeah.
And it has worked for them all season. The body of work has proven itself. They just have to continue doing what they're doing. They're honestly a really, really good sleeper.
No, I think I like the pick. I haven't watched their defense this year, and I just know I know. Go ahead.
They give up points.
Okay.
They gonna give up points now. They gonna give up points.
Yeah.
But it's not crippling. It's not the Achilles heel.
Okay, so let's move on a little bit because I can't let you go without talking a little bit about the 2014 year. With you guys out there, you Jameis Winston. I never forget those times, man. Coming out there, interviewing you guys and talking about you guys but I still got to get you that movie, man. I can't never get you the movie, man. Like, what is going on with that, man? Like,
listen, man, I can be honest with you. I'm always doing something. Yeah. I'm never sitting still. If I'm sitting still, it's not a good thing. I'm either sick or I'm laying in the hospital bed if I'm sitting still, man. I'm asleep or something. But 2014 was a crazy year. To be honest with you, it started off that spring. Dalvin Cook and that class had enrolled, and they were infectious, man. They wanted to know everything. I want to know how you do that, how you do this, what it is, what is that, and that kind of told us that we were going to be all right because we were missing, a lot of leadership. We were missing, Christian Jones, Terrence Brooks was gone, LaMarcus Joyner was gone, Timmy Jernigan up front was gone. DeMonte McAllister was gone. Everybody had pretty much had left, but a lot of us had played.
Right.
Devontae Freeman, James was gone, so I was the oldest back in the room, and that was new for me because I had never been, the eldest of anything.
Okay.
So, they came in, they wanted to learn, and we knew, like I said, we knew that we were going to be all right. But that summer, they worked and we worked, and they met our energy. And they kind of put themselves in position to kind of, carry the load. And you go watch just YouTube the highlight tape. Watch how many touchdowns Travis scored, or Ermin scored, or Bobo scored, or Kermit scored.
Yeah.
Watch how many times Dalvin started for us that year, my senior year.
Yeah.
And I remember we played against Syracuse, And I remember talking to Mario Pender, and I was like, P, man, you up today? He was like, yeah, it's his first start. I said, hey, man, stay healthy.
That boy
And,
coming.
just being a senior, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It
yeah,
was no cut. It was just like, hey, man,
yeah.
stay healthy,
That's
dog.
right. That's right.
Because if 4 touch it,
Oh, yeah, it's over. Yeah.
it's over with. Hey, he went out there. He got bumped up. Dalvin Cook. It's his name in history right then. And
Yeah.
listen, we can't make her play Notre Dame. I didn't start.
Mm-hmm.
My senior year, I didn't start against Notre Dame. And I wasn't even mad at Dalvin. I was like, I get it. I mean, yeah, I get it. I scored 2 late touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, he started against Miami in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
He
I
started
remember
against
that.
Clemson at home, and I scored the
Mm-hmm.
late overtime touchdown. It was always, Dalvin was a true running back. Dalvin was what he was. I was great at being, where I was put. I was easy coached, and I adapted well. But that year, Nick O'Leary was special. He was
Oh, yeah.
different. He blocked more than I've ever seen him block. Which was different for him because he had to, and he had a lot of younger guys. That year, we were the old group, and
Mm-hmm.
that's different. Maybe because I never looked at it like that. And
Mm-hmm.
now we talking about it. We were the mature guys on campus. We were
Yeah.
the seniors. We had a lot of young guys in our rooms that we had to help mature fast and grow fast. Um, and what was so crazy, even when we beat Clemson overtime, Sean was still, he was kind of one of us because he came in with Jameis.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sean didn't back down from being recruited and coming and committing when Jameis committed. So we kind of knew what kind of guy we was getting to when he walked out there for the start against Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
We knew Smag wasn't gonna take nothing, so we
Right.
knew we was gonna be all right. Um, but offensive line was crazy. Offensive line was beautiful.
Oh,
All those
yeah.
guys were started. They were in my class. Defensive front. You had Niall Lawrence Stample. Got Giorgio Newberry played tight end and played defensive line that year. Shane Broxy was a walk on.
Mm.
At the time. And he played a lot, played offense and defense, fullback number 42.
Mm-hmm.
We just had a lot of good guys, and I think that's what really made it work. I think while we lost to Oregon, I think we lost ourselves in what we were trying to do because we were running the ball down their throat, and I think just along the way we got trigger happy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Definitely got trigger happy.
Yeah. I mean, I always wanted to kind of ask Jameis about that game, actually, but I mean, since I have you here with me, man, it would seem like, it was a certain style that we were playing the entire year, and it was like those turnovers really weren't biting us in our behind. But this Oregon game, it just seemed like they were scoring off of each one of them. Like, the other teams that we were playing, they weren't really capitalizing, but it just seemed like that Oregon game, man, it was just like anything that could go wrong is going to go wrong. Like,
To be honest with you, man, it's hard. It's now that I'm older, it's easier to process what you're going through because I remember what I was thinking in those moments, and I remember what I was feeling. That's the first time in college that I really felt defeated. Watching a lot of stuff, like really defeated. Watch having turnovers happen. I remember turnovers in high school. I always have to be the guy, be like, "Hey, come on, let's go. Let's turn around. Oh, let's go get the ball back, whatever." Even in early on in my college career, I was always that guy. But just that game. And maybe because I wasn't causing the turnovers. I wasn't the person giving the ball up. I wasn't the person that was, it was just very, very different and it hit different. That game. It was hard to fight back from the ball slipping out his hand and it's a 50-yard return.
right.
Dalvin fumbled, I think 2 or 3 times, and then not Kermit, Bobo fumbled or Travis fumbled. And I'm like, and it just keep happening over and over and over, and it just keeps stacking. So it's hard to come back, but you still line up, you buckle your chin strap, put your mouthpiece in, you play the next play. Don't mean you're gonna win that rep, but you're gonna line up, you're gonna play. And that's what we did. We lined up, we played, man. It hurt, it sucked, but everybody got drafted that next spring. We were all cool, we were all happy. And then we got to watch Francois come in and play. And I'm sad he got hurt early in his career, but I think Frenchie would have been something special for Florida State, sincerely, if he would have had a chance to really grow and really, get his legs underneath himself with Jimbo. I think they really could have did some really good things together.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And now that we're talking about it, I got to talk about, my man Rashard Green, you know what I mean, and the offense, man. You guys, I'm an offensive guy, so I always got to talk about the offense. But I just remember just how smooth you guys was, man. Like the running game, the passing game, and you had the quarterback. It just seemed like I'm covering a dream team out here, man. You know what I mean? All you guys going pro first rounders and stuff like that. So just talk to me about the experience of playing around. I mean, pretty much number of NFL guys in Florida State uniforms at the time.
It's different, and people don't. And I say I've never been around that much collective talent in my life, even at the NFL level.
Wow.
In Buffalo, man, that roster with Deontay Thompson, Percy Harvin, like that right there. That's two Florida top 3 fastest cats to ever touch the ball in Florida. Then you had EJ Manuel, Tyrod Taylor,
right?
Shady McCoy, Bryce Brown, Boobie Dixon, Fred Jackson, Charles Clay, Nick O'Leary at the tight end spot. Like,
yeah.
Then we just mentioned the O-line. You got Jerry Hughes, Mario Williams, Marcel Darius, Kyle Williams at the front. Like, Manny Lawson coming in off the bench. Like,
Crazy.
Let's talk about it. Nigel Bradham, Preston Brown, Zach Brown. Like,
yeah.
What you really want to do? Like, you had guys, Stephon Gilmore, and then you had what's his name? What's his name? I can't remember his name. Our corner, number 21 that year in 2015, McClendon. Was it McClendon? Can't remember his name.
McFadden.
Was it McFadden?
McFadden,
No,
right?
was it McFadden?
It wasn't McFadden?
No, not that year. No, he was from where was he from?
I'm drawing a blank.
I can't remember, but we had him, bro. We had Aaron Williams out of Texas. Like, we had Duke Williams. We were nasty. We were nasty.
Crazy, man.
But that it wasn't as good as the roster I had at Florida State.
When you think about it, and I think about the collection of talent you got, you might be right, man. I mean,
it was stupid. It was stupid.
Yeah,
like,
that defense was
okay. Imagine this. I'm gonna say this. Imagine if we didn't lose Greg. Think about the defensive backfield.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about Duran and Jalen. I mean, I'm like, you can't really name them,
But just go think 2010. No, think 2012. At Greg Reed. So you had Xavier Rhodes, Greg Reed, Nick Wasom,
right,
Tyler Hunter, LaMarcus Joyner.
Yeah.
You had Terrence Brooks. You had me on deep. Like,
that's ridiculous.
Where you gonna throw it?
Yeah.
We run all DB package. We run in there all DB. They go out there. Y'all go blitz and all.
Yeah.
Like, we had that collection of talent. Not think we had Keelan Smith, who was the number 3 corner in the class in 2011. Marcus Brutus was number 5 safety in the class.
Right.
Like,
Brutus
and Keelan didn't even get to play their freshman year or sophomore year for real.
That's crazy. That's
You
crazy.
know what I'm saying? Like, the collection
Brutus
of talent.
not playing is crazy.
Nick Wasom was the number 1 corner in the country and didn't play until after Greg got kicked out. Wow. You got to think, bro.
Yeah.
We were deep.
Yeah.
Deep. I'm talking about elbow deep. Think about this. My freshman year, we had Gerald Demps, Justin Bright, what is his name? Holland, and we had Harvey, and we had Terrence Parks, Nick Moody, all playing free.
It's a log jam.
Yeah, like what you mean? Like we had so many guys.
Yeah,
you had so many guys. The running back room was so thick. My freshman year, Jermaine Thompson, Ty Jones, Chris Thompson, Devontae Freeman, James Wilder.
Yeah, I mean, I was just talking to my homeboy about that running back group, man.
Nobody really know how good Jermaine Thompson was.
Yeah,
or Ty Jones.
Oh man.
Boogie?
Yeah. And that's just one of those things. It's Florida State has always had a collection of talent, man. Like, and it's ridiculous. But me just actually being there to see it, in person instead of from TV and stuff, like, it was just different, man, for me. And again, definitely an honor to be able to be amongst you guys and y'all presence, during that time, legendary time. obviously going back now, we see how legendary it was because, we haven't won a title since then. So, we see how special that year was.
I think it is. I mean, to win a national championship is not easy. It is very, very difficult. Everybody has to buy in. You got to be selfless. Like, if I really was selfish, I would have told Jimbo, no, I'm actually starting on defense and I'm just going to stay over here. Even
Right.
if I wasn't the best nickel Sam,
Mm-hmm.
I was going to be selfish and stay. That would have been selfish for me. I wouldn't have made no difference. I wouldn't have, bro, no.
Yeah.
It was better for my team morale and for me to go get carries in the late second, in the early third. It was better for me to get carries not in the early second, in the,
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was better for my team morale. It was a better sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I got to play more special teams, focus on other things, and have to worry about playing defense. It was cool.
Yeah.
I made up for it. Like, it takes a lot of people not caring about their end game in order to win a national championship. Nah,
Most definitely.
sometimes you gotta be selfish.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people aren't willing to be selfless to be successful.
Yeah, I noticed that, and not just in the football world, but just in my journalism field and everything. I'm starting to notice that, every day as well, man.
I got a question for you though.
Go ahead.
Question for you, my guy.
Go ahead. I'm ready.
How do you feel about Florida State's defensive front this year?
The defensive front this year.
Yes.
Well,
What would you think our problem with our big tag guys?
Well, I mean, when I think about a defensive front, man, I think about guys like, Noddy, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we didn't have too many of those on our defensive front. I mean, guys are just going to, tear it up, like Verse, you know what I mean? Like, I think about guys like, Fitz,
Yeah. Tim Jernigan.
Jernigan, oh my goodness.
Even Jacoby McDaniel early in his career before he got hurt. Jacoby was one of our best D tackles.
Yeah.
And Amp.
Yeah.
Eric Dawkins.
Most definitely.
I mean,
most definitely.
the bag is open. Like, you know what I'm saying? Moses McCray, before he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
May he rest in peace. We lost Moses a few months back.
Mm-hmm.
But I asked that question because as a player who played behind these defensive linemen that I named and beside them and opposite of them in practice, you're 6'6", 330.
Mm-hmm.
You 6'6", 6'5", 340, and you telling me that you ain't getting sacks?
They're not built the same. They're not built like y'all, man.
But it's confusing and it's frustrating that, money being spent.
Yeah.
And I got to say it like that. Money being spent. I'm talking about not just a couple dollars.
Big money.
The money.
Big money.
Like the money.
Yeah.
You went from not wearing chains in your Instagram pictures to wearing 3 or 4 with the whole breakfast, Jesus breakfast, Last Supper on your chest.
Oh, man. It's a super business now. It's a super
I get
business.
it. I get it. I get it. And I'm not throwing no salt, man. More power to you.
Mm-hmm.
But as a player, that money got to match that production, homeboy.
No question about it.
That chain got to match what you doing, homeboy.
No question about it.
Because you flexing, but we losing. You're clean, like you balling. Like I tell you right now, we went 8-8 when I was in Buffalo, and nobody was happy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nobody was cool. We were 8-8. Nobody was all right that we were 8-8.
Right.
Nobody should be happy or wearing their chains.
Yeah.
Nobody should be going out to the club. Yeah. Nobody should be eating outside of, the kitchen, right. The kitchen hall, right. Or the mess hall. Right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody should be on the same page. Nobody should be trying to go get no new deal, no nothing. We should be worried about winning football game. But that's lost. Now I'm worried about when I'm gonna get my next one, or how much I'm gonna get if I get in the portal and try to come back on a new deal, or what?
No,
why are we in negotiations with an 18-year-old kid who ain't even started half a season? Why am I even giving you the time of day in conversation, bro? No, you ain't thrown 10 touchdowns.
Right. They getting rewarded before they do anything, though.
But you haven't, bro. You haven't thrown 10 touchdowns. That's a real number. You haven't thrown 10 touchdowns in a season, and we're talking about giving you 6 digits.
Yeah. If not more. if
Hold
not
on, my
more.
man, bro. Stop. And that's where we got to start talking to parents. Stop.
Well, the
Your
parents are the
kid,
one who's influencing it.
your kid is good. I thank God your kid's at Florida State. Your kid was good enough to be recruited, offered by Florida State, but your kid hasn't done enough in the grand scheme of things to say that he's worth over 100,000 per year or per whatever y'all getting paid. He's not worth that.
Yeah.
He's not going to be a Heisman Trophy winner next year. I guarantee you right now. Because if he was, he would have came in and lit it up right now.
Mm-hmm. And that's how
And
they
we're
basing
settling
it.
for mediocrity.
Yeah, and they basing they they college careers and their education on those NIL deals now. That's a whole
No, I need
nother.
that piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Bachelor's of Arts and Science. I need that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And like, I help kids get recruited. I go through the recruiting process. I do a
Mm-hmm.
lot of that for kids. I got a couple kids right now that signed during early signing day. Lamar Williams out of Gaston County just played in the state championship. Um, and they lost, but shout out to them. But he's going to Maryland. I got another linebacker, Houghton Harris, out of Childs in Tallahassee. Yeah, he's got a couple offers. Stetson,
Mm-hmm.
Navy, a couple of the small schools, but it's hard because coaches will say, "Well, coach, you got to transfer guys or portal guys." I help high school kids.
Yeah.
High school kids are getting cut. I'm talking about at, you know, small FCS schools. They're looking for portal guys.
Mm-hmm.
So it's difficult, man. It sucks. So
Yeah.
it's hard to see guys at this level getting paid these major bucks that's not producing major numbers or
Mm-hmm.
producing decent numbers. And I can't get kids to even get, a partial scholarship or a full ride to a lower level school.
Right.
And it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it all the time. Me working at FAM and working
Yep.
close with the athletic department. I see them coming in all the time. But definitely one of those things that we can further that conversation. In the days to come. And I definitely don't want to hold you up too much of your time, man. I just want to thank you, for me actually having a chance to sit down and talk to you, man. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time, so I definitely want to thank you, man. And definitely wanted you to come on, future, whenever you have time, you come on
I'm in
in the
the
future.
studio next. I'm
Oh
in the studio.
man, hey,
Listen,
come on in
I'm
the
in the
studio.
studio next. I'm in the studio
Come
next,
on
man.
in
I'm
the
in
studio now.
the
You
studio
gotta
next.
gotta put on your Sunday best now. You coming in the studio.
Okay.
Hey, you know what I mean? Because I got a seat right next to me.
Listen, I wear slacks and a button up every day to school. So
Yeah.
I'm a kindergarten paraprofessional. So I work over in Liberty County.
Okay.
I work in kindergarten with a great group of kindergarten teachers and a good school over there. It's a K through 8. It's
Okay.
pretty awesome, man. But yeah, I wear my slacks. Know what I'm saying? My little button up every day to
Man,
school
that's
with my
awesome.
badge on and my little walkie-talkie. So I'll be dressed. I'll be dressed.
Man, that's awesome, man. With that being said, we have to follow this conversation up as well because I want to get the kids that's in the 6th through 8 to come to the J school. While I work at the journalism school and kind of learn some of the equipment in there. Whether it's the
Okay.
cameras, whether it's the teleprompters, whether it's editing, whatever they can learn. I want to kind of do that while I'm still in this position. So we'll have those conversations, man.
Most definitely. I think
'Cause
our principal will really be interested in that.
mm-hmm,
I'm dead serious. So we'll definitely
mm-hmm,
have to connect on that, man. I definitely appreciate you reaching out.
for sure, man. And I'll see you next time, man. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. You too.
Yes, sir. And that was Karlos Williams. For you guys that do not know, he won a national championship back in 2013, played alongside Jameis Winston when Jameis Winston won the national championship back in 2013 and won the Heisman as well. Really good guy, really great player. And, a guy that, we can further conversations to help the youth, and put them in situations where they can learn things that they might not learn, into the future, So those are things that I'm very interested in, being in the position that I'm in. And wanted to thank him one more time. So, and for anybody that was out there watching this show, make sure that you guys go get that movie as well. The show will go on, my third documentary movie, which has Karlos Williams in it with Jameis Winston. Max, go ahead and play the trailer so they can kind of get an example of what I'm talking about. But this is kind of a trailer that I edited back in 2013, 2014 or something like that, and I'll let it go ahead and play. basketball. What are your thoughts on epic goals in Notre Dame?
And the question, I guess, do I take credit for what I did? I don't get it.
Yeah, so again, that was a documentary that I shot back in 2014. Jameis Winston documentary. It's called After the Heisman. It pretty much is a documentary that talks about the events that happened after the Heisman Trophy winner Jameis Winston won the national title. So definitely check that out. Check out the YouTube link on YouTube to if you want to watch the trailer for yourself. You just go to my page and you can see the link as well. And with that being said, we're looking forward to 2025. It's in 2025. We got a lot of big things going on. I got a lot of my students that's going to be working alongside of me in 2025 with the show. And we got a lot of good things coming up with the Rattler basketball team and with the Orlando Magic. So with that being said, we're going to go to the last section of the show, which is what's on my mind. And this is a part of the show where I can kind of, tell you guys what's been on my mind since the last time that we talked. So without further ado, Max, go ahead and put me up. Without further ado, we want to go ahead and talk about some of the things that's been on my mind. So first of all, we want to go back to a time where, I thought that this wasn't even possible. We want to talk about a time where, it was just all about what I thought I could do, not what I knew I could do or what, I thought I could, do in a different time. But now we're in a different time. And now I have to let you guys know what's on my mind. So with that being said, we're going to talk about workaholics, right? Because this is something that, even my parent, my mother, she always talks to me about because she calls me a workaholic, right? She calls me a guy that doesn't get any sleep. Does it look like I'm sleeping? Does it look like I'm tired? I might be, but the whole point is I have a goal to reach, and I'm not going to sleep until I reach that goal. Now, I want to talk to you about workaholics out there. The guys that are grinding and making a better future for themselves and their families. I want to tell you guys, it's okay to take a day off and get you some rest. It's okay to take a nap in between time when you have time. It's okay to look at some of the things that you've done during the day and say, you know what, I've done enough for today, and I can take some time off and do the rest for tomorrow, because it's very important to get your rest. Now, there's nothing wrong with resting and taking a break away from the grind, Now, I was just like y'all, trying to get every penny. I was keeping up my store and open all times of the night. I remember when I was keeping dinner up in the movie up to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I would go up to Zingali's and open up the store. Then I would go to Table Lounge to open up the store. Then, after 2 and 3 o'clock, I used to go to Secrets. Secrets used to close at 4 o'clock. I used to be out at Secrets 5 o'clock in the morning selling barbecue and selling my movies. But it was something missing. I was missing a big piece to the puzzle. It was sleep. It was sleep. I was missing sleep. I was falling asleep on the couch, crashing on the couch, falling asleep on the road. After work, at work, in the bathroom. I'm sleeping everywhere, man, except for at the house. Sometimes, man, you got to take some time. Get you some rest. All right? Sometimes you got to get some rest. And I might be talking to somebody out there, or I might just be talking to myself. But I know that sometimes you got to get you some rest, no matter what your goals are and no matter what you plan on doing for the future. You got to get you some rest. Now, sometimes I ain't even had energy to take a shower. I was just determined to go make that bag, and I forgot to go get some rest. But you can't forget that you're still a human. You can't forget that you still need rest. It's very important. Now, listen. I'm a hard worker. I'm a grinder, right? I'm a guy that, that work harder than about anybody that you know in Tallahassee, right? But take some time off and rest. Rest your body so that you can be better. You can't say no one told you, because I just did. Take you a break. Take you some time off if you're one of those real grinders like myself. If you're one of those guys that people have to tell you to take some time off and tell you to get some rest, take you some time off, man. You're hearing it from me. And if you hear it from me, it's official. But keep grinding. But take proper time to rest and eat right as well. You got to eat right. That's very important. Make sure you eat you some salads. Make sure there's some green on your dinner plates. Make sure there's some green on your breakfast plates. Make sure there's some green in your pocket. And make sure there's some green on your grass. I just made that up. But anyway, this your boy Spencer R. Henderson, and I'm signing off again. And make sure you guys follow me on YouTube, on my new YouTube channel, The Spencer R. Henderson Show. Until next time, we'll see you all again. Make sure that you guys stay healthy. Make sure you guys stay smart, and make sure you guys stay safe. I'm signing off again. Spencer Henderson, and we out.
Ooh, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm on the winning team. I'm in a different league. I'm like a symphony. Buy you some Tiffany's. Ooh, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm on the winning team. I'm in a different league. I'm like a symphony. Buy you some Tiffany's. Woo! Look at me. I'm on a winning team. Diamonds are glittery. I got a shivery.